hello. This is our submission video for Blanc Any Percent into Summer Games Done Quick 2023. This is a wonderful co-op game about two baby animals, a little wolf and a little deer, trying to find their families. My name is Osborne, and I will be playing as the baby wolf. We got my yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Happy by 3, and I'm the little white fawn, and I have put little pictures next to our names to make it easier to remember that for 40 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But this game is it's very fun. It's very cozy. It's very cute, and we in this small amount of time we still managed to find pretty nice optimizations to make this game as quick as we can make it. And this game came out this year, and we've already gotten it down to a pretty healthy time. And so that's something that's really good. And hopefully, if it gets accepted, looking forward to showing this off at a large scale, because it's like a really good game that I think could benefit a lot from a larger audience.
And very easy to pick up. I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about. Possibly showing it off is it's such an easy first speed game. If anyone wanted to just try something pretty straightforward but still really rewarding and fun.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just gonna start over here with new game. Oh, camera, please, thank you. All right. And so you can just start with two controllers. Go on. There we go. Oh, and we're currently playing with remote desktop. I'm connected to Happy by 3's PC right now. Because we've discovered that with online co-op, like directly connecting, it causes a lot of crashes. It's a huge buggy mess, and so in order to just circumvent that, we've decided to be on Parsec through remote desktop here. So let's just start up. Again, I'm going to be the fox, and Hagabetu is going to be the fawn, and time will begin as soon as the second person presses play and the first loading screen starts. So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, no,
you pressed the wrong one.
It's okay, because I'm playing this with a Switch Pro controller and it gets remapped. But let's try that again. All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. The remote desktop isn't reading my Switch Pro controller as a Switch Pro controller the way that it usually would with my own PC.
But so you have to just pretend that you have an Xbox controller in your hand.
Exactly. Yeah, for example, like it's like the X button was on the right side of the Xbox controller, but I would usually press the X button on the top side because that's what there is on the Switch controller, and it would work on my PC, but on the sake of for Happy by 3's PC, I have to like just remap it a bit. I'm still getting used to it, mainly because I'm just used to playing it on my own PC as well.
Yeah, you may have noticed right at the beginning there, pretty much as soon as we skipped that cutscene, Oz was already moving. There's supposed to be a brief little... It's not letting me press X. There we go.
There you go.
There's supposed to be a brief little, like, not a true cutscene, but just kind of the camera moving in to show you the first character, and then you start moving after that. But by just holding the direction that he wants to move during the cutscene, once the cutscene stops, he's already been moving for a little bit, so... Saves a very little bit of time.
And one beautiful thing about local co-op versus online co-op is that the movement for each character isn't looking like stuttery or jittery or anything like that, because oftentimes with like, Steam connections, it'll look very like not as smooth as it could. But in this first chapter, we're just going to be trying to be moving along as fast as possible. Very quickly, we're going to introduce to other mechanics such as pulling things and running, but just for the sake of this first chapter, or this first section, all we can do is walk to where we want to go.
But even there, you'll notice that I wasn't taking, like, a super direct path, and I was stopping every now and then. You may have noticed there's only one camera for both of us, so in that first section, if either of us moves on before the other one in certain spots, the camera will generally follow whoever is further ahead on their intended route. And so you end up with the camera cutting one person off so that person can't move. And then you're just wasting time.
And this is a fake cutscene because it makes you think, since it's letterbox, that you can't move. But you can move, and you need to move in order to progress it.
Then the
And
real
so,
cutscene happens. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't
yeah,
like me pressing X.
strange.
It's really weird.
Interesting.
Oh well.
But during this section, there's actually going to be a few things you're going to be noticing, and that we don't want to be too close to the center, because if we're too close to each other, first of all, the game won't let us cross paths, and second of all, if we're too close to each other, the game will actually cause us. We're going to like be barking at each other, or whatever the equivalent of a bark is for a phone.
I like whine.
Um,
Yeah,
Whine,
we
yeah.
haven't really met yet, so right now our characters are still afraid of each other. Because it's a wild fawn and a wild wolf cub. You're seeing new things for the first time, and they're scary. So the wolf will pause to bark at me, or I will pause to kind of whine, and that obviously loses us time if we stop moving to do that. That's
Exactly.
the whining. That's the noise I make.
Yeah. Right there, it only matters if I hit the last loading trigger in order to bring us over to the next section. And after this beginning portion of this next chapter, this is like going to be the first time that we actually officially meet and cross paths. And another thing is that like the tracks that we're stepping on, and we're gonna like elaborate more on this later. But like the tracks that we're stepping on that we're following, you don't always want to be standing on them or following the tracks, because they're supposed to be the tracks of the family that we're trying to find. And if you're too close to them, a lot of time the animals that you're controlling will start to sniff them. And if that happens, you're just going to
Okay, I
lose
don't
a
know
lot of time
which
to like
button
the
is
animation.
working, but mashing is skipping cutscenes, so I'm just gonna mash.
Oh my god,
If it works, it
mashing!
works. That's what matters.
If it works, it works. Yes. In sections like these, it's pretty easy. If as long as you know where you're going, it's pretty easy to like go pretty far ahead, because I have to go over here and like pull this branch.
Yep.
And if you time everything correctly, we should end up being like literally at the same area. Um, oh my god, movement, please. Thank you.
That's so close.
So close.
Yeah,
Uh,
one kind of fun thing about sections like this where we have to do some jumping is you can't really mash in this game. The same button is used to alternate running and walking as the button we use to jump. So through sections like that, if you mash the jump button, you'll actually just end up standing still a lot and walking a lot and losing time rather than jumping quickly from spot to spot. You have to actually time out the jumps for when the cursor is going to appear. So it's not like a hold A and hold forward kind of control scheme. You really have to time your jumps in those sections.
Yeah, exactly. And in this section, we find out that Happy Bison 3's head is very strong in pushing things, and I have jaws of steel.
Yes.
Teeth that are sharp as razors. It is. I'm going to like be biting ropes, cutting them in half in order to solve specific puzzles, as well as Happy's going to be able to push things. And so that is common mechanics that we're going to be seeing a lot throughout the run. And it's just a minor optimizations in like trying to minimize how often you're interacting with certain objects and minimizing the movement that you have, making it as optimal as possible. That's makes this run like really cool and also really approachable for a lot of new players.
Yeah, there's also lots of times like before that last trigger that we both had to stand on, where I was just sort of hanging out for a second. There's a lot of times we have to wait through an animation before we can do things. So a lot of it is knowing exactly when those animations end and when it is safe for you to take your next step, because every second beyond the end of the actual waiting period becomes time loss. Now I'm just waiting for the thing to appear, yep, and then as soon as it'll let me jump, I gotta jump.
Exactly. I'm going to be going underneath here since it's small enough for me to fit through, but Happy has to go over. Small deviations like that and making sure that each person is being used in the speedrun is something that we're going to be doing a lot. And I think both of us have to make it to a certain point in that tunnel for the loading trigger to go. But that, I believe, every time you see like one of these long loading screens, that's kind of the end of a chapter. And so now we're going straight into chapter 3, and we're gonna be using pretty much the same mechanics that we've been introduced to already, but in more interesting ways. We're going to do a lot more puzzle solving in this puzzle, or in this particular section.
Yeah, this is when we start to get into, people have to do things in the right order, and you have to, know how long your partner's animations are so that you are pressing your button at the exact right frame that it's available instead of waiting.
Exactly. Cutting corners by going down that's really, really steep hill instead of following the trail like usual. This is some very steep snow in that or very deep snow in that you can only stand on the walls or on the roofs because the snow is just so high up, and that if you fall in the center of it, you'll just sink to the bottom. Or at least that's the implication. We wouldn't know because the game doesn't allow us to go on to all the other snow at the bottom.
We'll also notice this little black indicator when we are able to jump. One, we can't jump until that indicator appears on the thing we're jumping to, and two, the indicator is very fickle sometimes, where it'll be on an object and then it will move to a different object unexpectedly. So
yeah, right. We saw that a bit earlier with the barrel that I was trying to jump on, that Happy pushed with their head.
Yeah, a lot of times the what looks like it should just be an easy jump up on this obstacle and then jump to the next thing ends up being a very precise positioning to get the indicator to actually show up to do things optimally.
Exactly. So we're going to use a little seesaw action here. This is a particular section in which we kind of have to wait for the other person to finish their part of the puzzle in order for us to progress. For example, right here. And that's pretty much the main meat of this particular section.
Another mechanical thing. We have to toggle our run rather than holding the button, and every time we jump, the run turns off. So that's another small sort of mechanical detail that makes it more skill heavy. Is we have to time, you jump somewhere and then time getting back into your run cycle, but since you can't just hold the button down, it's not like you jump and then hold the button. You have to very accurately time out multiple presses to get things as quick as possible.
Let's see. All right, so as soon as I'm done closing that, we're going to start this cutscene and head into the final area or final section of this huge puzzle area, and we're going to see how long this animation for pulling this door over here takes, because as we've been practicing in online co-op, it can take 2 seconds or it can take 5 seconds, depending on how the game feels like behaving that day.
Yeah, and so far, like we mentioned, the game is only a few weeks old. So far, we're not 100% sure if it's just RNG or if there is... That was pretty fast. That was a good one. We take those.
That was pretty fast there, right?
But not totally sure yet if it's RNG or positioning that makes it go faster.
I think I figured out why some of your buttons aren't causing you to skip the cutscenes. I think whenever you skip the cutscene, it has the animation for at the bottom right. It says that I've skipped the cutscene, and then it's weird for some reason. It's saying that
it's taking longer to register my button.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's when you skip the cutscene, it says that I've skipped the cutscene, and when I skip the cutscene, it says that you've skipped the cutscene. I think it's controlling differently.
Oh,
or at least that's what I've seen, because that time it said that I skipped the cutscene first, and I did not press a single button.
Oh, weird.
It's strange, right? That's something that we haven't seen before.
This is the first time we find out that I have a little angry face on my tail, which is very important to the lore.
Yes,
in that it's cute.
Yes, I would also like to declare the fact that we decided which characters we were going to be doing by the fact that I asked Happy, how tall are you? And they said tall. And I just chose this tall character.
I was like, yes, I am very tall. Yeah, no. For some reason in the cutscene, when it says you've skipped, that is in fact me. How strange.
Yes, exactly. It is strange.
So this, when we were playing in actual online, this was a pretty consistent place where we had a risk of soft locking and having to completely close the game and start it back up. So really nice to be on, technically couch co-op as far as the game is concerned, so that we just get right through that cutscene. And now I learned a new mechanic where I can help Oz get places.
Exactly.
As Oz mentioned, I'm the absurdly tall one, so my job to help you reach things on the top shelf.
Exactly. And thankfully I come in clutch right here in this next puzzle by pushing down a platform for Happy to use.
Yep.
But generally speaking, you're going to be seeing Happy help me a lot because I am simply just a silly little guy.
You're just a little guy.
Small lad.
And now while I wait for you, I get to stand here and whine. So that's not annoying at all.
Yep.
If I stand directly in front of that, the snow will actually spook me every time.
Yeah.
If I stand right in front of that, the snow will actually scare me and triggers a little animation that forces me to wait until the animation finishes before I can move again. So just a small optimization to stand to the side of it so the snow doesn't spook me off and I can jump on faster.
Exactly. And now we're going into what is probably one of the more tedious parts of the games because we're first of all dealing with wind that slows us down, and going into this next chapter we're going to be dealing with everyone's favorite friend, enemy AIs and escort missions. And that's, as you can see right there, that's another example of us like getting in front of the trail and then having a sniff like animation. That is just something that's going to happen sometimes. If you can find a way around the trail, the animation won't happen, but sometimes you can't, which is unfortunate.
Wait.
Wait.
That'll happen sometimes. I can just slip off the end there because these the log and the floor are connected, so sometimes I'll just slip off. Okay, and a nice big window just appeared, which I'm gonna click away from. Cool. Not sure why that happened.
Perfect. No worries. I was about to click that away myself first and foremost. But now we can just go across here, and we're actually going to be introduced to another really cool mechanic right here, and it is sliding.
Yay! Sliding makes us go very fast. You can only do it in very specific spots, and when you do it, but there has to be enough hill to gain some speed. If it's a really, really short hill, then you kind of flop at the bottom, and it actually is slower than just running.
Yeah, exactly. But typically speaking, if you are able to gain enough speed through sliding, it is significantly faster than running. And so you want to be able to slide whenever you can. For example, I know for a fact that you can skip the animation of you sniffing this particular. Never mind. What?
Oh.
It physically paused us.
Yeah.
To sniff instead of it interrupted the slide.
It is possible. It's tough.
It is possible. We've done it before. It's strange that it actually physically paused us that time. Yeah. But that's unfortunately just how things go. And there's a small section during this wind in which you can just run for some reason.
Right there.
Right there.
There's one. Yeah. And then we hit wind again.
We hit wind again.
And then there's one more.
Is there? I remember there only being one.
Maybe. No, it is just that guy. I thought there was one through this. Yeah, there it is. I get it for like 3 frames there. Did you see that? I have like a really short one. Maybe like half of a second. Because this game is running at 6 frames per second, obviously.
Of course. And now we are going to go into an escort mission. Believe it or not.
It is the most tedious and possibly cutest mission in this game.
Or also a single mother of 3 children neglects them very much.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time there was a single mother of 3 children in this game, I'd have 2 nickels.
Exactly, which is not a lot, but it's weird.
It is weird it happened twice, though. So we can run ahead here, but we have to wait for the AI to walk to us. Either way, so you'll see us doing some just like little circles and kind of having fun running around because we're stuck waiting for the geese anyway, so we might as well have fun with it.
The biggest like issue with something like that is that like
I've got two.
Yeah, we got 2.
What?
Technically, you can do this. Oh my goodness.
What?
Excuse me?
What is happening?
These little guys are not behaving today.
They're not being nice today. Yeah, keeping them right under my body seems to be doing the trick.
Yeah, same.
Here, but it's weird they're being so.
Believe it or not,
we lost one.
It's not the slowest we've had. We live.
Yeah, we lost one. Poor little guy. Why are you being like this?
There you go.
The fun thing with the wind is that we go slower backwards and forwards. Whether you're walking into the headwind or with a tailwind, you still slow down.
Yeah, it's strange. But as you can see, you're probably wondering like, why isn't the mother duck just helping her children? It's because like she just needs to get places. Like she's tired.
Yeah.
Like she
She's
has
got
things
places
to
to be.
do, but like she just doesn't want to care for her children right now, which is the best and
Fair.
worst part.
Sometimes you just need 20 minutes.
You just need 20 minutes,
I
right?
do like that she gives them a little coaching before each puzzle, though. So, like, before
Yeah.
she goes across, she's like, all right, so here's what's going to happen. Good luck.
All right, so this puzzle is a little bit different. Typically speaking,
So I got this guy.
the like animation of like the wind around your body, it's not the most reliable in terms of how you want to guide these ducks. Um, Believe it or not, your physical hitbox or like the your character model, it is a more of a reliable source
Oh, I
than
got him, I got him. Yes! Got him in time.
it's a much more reliable source than the animation of like the of you blocking the wind around you. And so that's something that you want to keep in mind, especially for a puzzle that's going to come up at the very end, in which the camera is put at a very specific angle that makes it difficult for you to realize where exactly the ducks are being covered up.
That went really well.
Um,
That's
it did go
that's
really
about as
well.
smooth as that second one goes.
Exactly.
Which is nice, because the
And
first one was not.
yeah,
They were mean.
if we could find ways to skip these sections, we would. But the issue exactly is that like the flag to open up the next area isn't open until like the AI actually makes it to the other side, which is unfortunate. Especially because like I'm pretty sure the end level like trigger or the end level loading zone won't activate until like the mother duck is at her house, which is where we're leading them to. And so we're going to bring one duck over here. Let's see if I can get both of these ducks at the same time back here.
So, what
Um,
Oz is going to try to do to make that happen is there is a little bit of leeway after. No, that was too much. There's a little bit of leeway after the duck gets out of the like safe zone before they get blown away. And so, since they move quickly in the safe zone and slowly in the wind, you can do a little bit of manipulation of like making one go slow outside of the safety and then catching it again and catching the other one and eventually getting all of them together. But it is not easy.
yeah, we were able to do a little bit in that first puzzle, but definitely not in this second puzzle, unfortunately. And now we are going to really just go all the way ahead. I'm pretty sure if you walk all the way ahead, the ducks might walk a little bit faster.
Yes, it's definitely.
Um,
This is the one spot where it is definitely a little bit faster to get out ahead of them. Here and on either the next one, I think the next one, because we can get started on a puzzle before they get there. So on the next one, it's not that the AI goes faster.
you need to help me up here? I don't remember you needing to help me
Yeah,
up here.
I don't remember that at all. No, I don't have a button to help
Okay,
you.
there we go.
That's a great
Perfect.
example of how finicky the jump indicator can be sometimes. You saw Oz just
Yeah.
looking around there and no indicator popping up. So the goal
Exactly.
here was that we could get here faster. Because like I was saying,
we're
we
still
can...
here fast enough.
Yeah, we can start this puzzle while we wait, so that, if we followed the AI here, we would miss the first cycle because the door wouldn't be moved yet.
Okay, and now the mother duck is once again coaching her children because they're too big to actually go over the fence, or they're too small to go over the roof instead of through it. And as these guys are being pushed, we can push this over here.
Hopefully, we'll get two of them safe.
I think we're only gonna get one.
We're only gonna get one. Ah, all right.
It's unfortunate. If we
Could
did
be
it a little
worse.
bit earlier, we can get two.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's possible to get three. I don't think it is, but
I haven't seen it. The new record video only gets two.
yeah.
Which, speaking of, the community is very small right now for this game because it's a pretty new game. But it has been very, very competitive between a pair of American players and a pair of French players, and this game is by a French developer, so the French players are very proud of holding on to that record, and their submission notes on a few runs have been taking the record back for France.
Yeah, exactly. And that it's a wonderful competition between the two, and they've provided a few resources. For example, the most important resource being like how to not crash on online co-op. The answer: don't play online
Don't
co-op.
play online co-op. Yeah, which that's why next record is ours now that we're not dealing with a crash every game.
Exactly right.
Well, we're just waiting for the AI here.
Of course, during sessions like these, it's easy for like donations and such.
Yeah.
As we're waiting for the AIs, if we're not busy like catching up on explaining things. But this is like, I know in the last puzzle it was faster to go ahead. I don't necessarily know if it's faster for this puzzle in particular.
No, I'm pretty sure this one we just chill.
We do just chill. And this puzzle is actually a good example of what I mean by like your character model is a easier indicator than the like the wind, the animation that's blocking the wind for the characters. Because as you can see right there, it might not look like I'm blocking
those
the
two
wind
should be close enough together to get.
Hopefully. Oh, yes.
Be cool, bud. Be cool.
Nah. Okay, you got it?
Yeah, they got a little separated from each other. It's a bummer.
That's unfortunate. They were like almost close enough. I feel like if you were over here, like your hitbox is long enough to where it might have worked on your end, but I don't know if it would have worked for me.
No.
All right, and now I'm gonna go around and jump on this end and meet you all on the other side. So that's the final puzzle of the escort mission with the mother ducks.
And as you can see, there's a wall here. This is the wall Oz was talking about that the flag won't trigger until the mother goose gets.
Yeah, I was actually talking about the wall after this one.
The right spot.
Yeah, but this is also another one. And pretty much every single section has a wall that won't activate until like the won't like disappear until the mother goose walks towards it. But this particular wall over here, the one that leads us to the end of the level, this one definitely will not appear or will not go away until the mother duck goes back home and into this building right over here. And also, you cannot walk inside here, which is disappointing.
So we get to just run around for a second.
Run around for a second, maybe have another donation or two as we're waiting for this cutscene to start. Yeah.
Then we get to move on.
There we go.
This is another spot. Every single time we played this online, Oz would lose control at this spot, and we had to switch to one player, triggered this loading zone, then switch back to two player. And as you can see, that didn't happen on Parsec, which is a huge improvement.
Yes. And this is the like the funnest part of the run.
Oh my gosh,
where it's just pure fun with sliding down this snowy hill. It's an absolutely amazing time.
Yeah, we were really rooting for Trackmania to get in. So we're doing our part by including a Trackmania game in our submission.
Exactly. It's an absolutely amazing time. We can like, I would like for like chat to like place bets on who's gonna get to the end first, because like right here, like
whoever gets there first has a disadvantage because you get held up while you wait. Yeah. So the first section of this is a lot of just like taking the curves as fast as we can, trying to find good lines. Literally all of the mechanics that are important for a racing game. We can increase speed by going downhill in these little spots. We can gain some speed by taking corners tighter. And so this really is like we can make this section faster or slower through optimal movement. And you'll notice at the end the music will kind of stop by like going to the last phrase in the middle of another phrase. That's because the music seems to be set up that it will go to the final part once you arrive. But we have before spent so much time exploring and hunting for glitches that the music just stopped and it gets dead silent.
Yeah, right. It just dead silent. It's like it doesn't even start over.
But then we also get to play Tony Hawk, another staple of speedrunning marathons.
Exactly. Cool... Shout outs to Big Law.
Do some grinds. Absolutely gaming. Oh! You get so much. You get so much speed on the grinds. No, I still got it. I still win.
No, oh, because I didn't turn right in time. Dang it.
Yes.
Okay, come on. That's unfortunate. But we got it.
That got real scary at the end.
That's so disappointing. Make a chat prediction as to who's gonna win. You can win so many. You can lose so many points. Whoa!
Ooh, you just clip up there. All right, that's good enough.
Yeah, that's good. That's technically a time save, right? Technically,
Yeah,
because I don't have to
a little baby
push
one.
that.
Definitely a small one.
But that's the end of that chapter. And now we're going to one of the cutest chapters in this game.
This is probably my favorite.
We're gonna get some friends here.
Because this one is cute and the AI is less slow. So
Yeah, the AI is less slow.
These AIs are better behaved, but they're still adorable.
Mm-hmm. They're also smoother on Parsec. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, they're very smooth.
Yeah. But these guys, these are the baby goats. We have the white goat and the black goat. The white goat will imitate whatever Happy is doing, and the black goat will imitate whatever I'm doing. And so that is a absolutely beautiful, cute thing. And we were gushing at this game when we were first introduced to that.
Yeah. We did our first play of this together totally blind. So
yeah, exactly.
When we realized oh, they just do what we do, it was us the best.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And so cutting some corners right here. Have the white goat just push this down, so I can pull it. Come on, thank you.
And as you can see there, sometimes we're just waiting for the game to let us do the thing, like there.
Yeah.
But we're just
up here,
trying to be as quick as possible on clicking the button once the button is available to be clicked.
Yes, exactly.
Now I have to help you up here.
Help me up here.
Come on. There it is.
Come on. Thank you.
But perfect. While Oz does that, I can get started on the next part. So luckily the camera pans out far enough that we can get a head start here.
Mm-hmm. And you don't really have to worry about the AIs for these goats. They're a little bit smarter than the goats and then the AIs for the ducks.
Yes.
So you're able to just wait for them to make their merry little way over here.
Yep. This AI sort of runs on a track that is shaped differently but linked to your track. So as we get to each step, the AI will meet us at that step of their what they're supposed to do. Was I just late?
God,
just
my
late.
Guy.
Nah, that's all me.
Really. Don't worry.
He was on top.
This is the section in which we have to teach these little guys to help each other, similar to how we're helping each other. And now we get to meet up with them after solving this last puzzle.
Yeah, we have to wait for for the little one to
What was that? Jump indicator, please. There we go. Perfect.
We have to wait for the black goat to jump up before I can get down, or mine will stop giving him the path. So there it is.
Beautiful. All right.
This is another fake cutscene where we actually have to remember to walk through it, even though it looks like a cutscene.
Yeah, exactly. We're here in this factory area. Does the game ever say where this takes place? I'm assuming somewhere in France.
Not that I know of. Probably.
Yeah.
In France seems like a safe bet.
Yeah. And this is the part where Happy turns into a single mom.
Yes, I was inspired by the goose. So now I'm going to carry the whole team on my back. And I have to... Oh! That'll just happen sometimes. And as you can see, if that happens, then the black goat will jump all the way down before coming back up.
Come on, little guy. Come on, he's following me, so I gotta make an example for him.
Very frustrating. That just happens sometimes.
Now the white goat has to follow you, but then realize that he can't go through that spot because he's too small. And have you ever wondered how many goats and foxes does it take to equal the weight of one baby deer? Yes. The answer is 3.
Yes, this is math time. I know speedrunners aren't supposed to do math, but 2 baby goats.
Taking his very little time.
Hey,
he is
my son has never made a mistake in his life. How dare you? All right, and at this part, we can make the AI go the exact same speed by just running ahead of them. But we can have more fun. So, as far as we know, AI doesn't actually get to the trigger faster just because we go faster, but we move faster if we jump. So, we will both jump to the end of this and then just stand there and wait.
Just alternate between each and every pipe because you can gain a little bit of distance every time that you jump with it, like so.
And then it'll be time for another little "we're waiting for the ISO rated donation" moment.
Exactly. And one interesting thing about this section is that both AIs have to make it to the end. Usually it's the black goat that ends up being, oh, that was fast.
That one went really fast. Hey, maybe on Parsec they actually do move quicker.
Yeah, right?
That's the first time it's really triggered. And then,
and
as you can see, they're both safe, and they're watching us go to the next step of our journey. And the music is sad for no reason. It's just a weird choice the composer made. It's not because the game is sad right now.
Exactly. Yep. There was not a really sad cutscene that we just skipped. No. You do not have to worry about that. Nope. Everything is fine.
Everything's
they're
super
happy,
cool.
And they're just saying goodbye. That's it.
Yep.
But yeah, this is another time for donations, is because this section of walking before you exit the level, it is much longer than you think it is.
Yeah. Which is wonderful for the casual experience. It really gives you a good sense of like the weight of the chapter you just finished and like that cutscene that didn't happen, and exactly. You really feel like you're pushing ahead into the next thing. It's a very good way to kind of silently convey the emotion they're going for. But when you're speedrunning, it's just annoying.
Yeah, exactly. There's just so much walking. You're like, is this cutscene over yet? And you're like, oh no, you still have like 10 more seconds of walking to go. And another tricky cutscene in which the letterboxes makes you think that you don't have to move, but you do. And now we're going into the second to last level, I believe. Or maybe just the last level, I think. And we have a wide open
I know, I always lose count of which chapter we're on.
Yeah, exactly right. We're going on to this wide open space in which the game makes you think you have a little bit of free range as to where to go. But it actually is linear. It's just like this particular area is still like very large and wide open. There is a hidden achievement that you can get in this section that we got earlier just from like exploring, but it's really out of the way.
We got it during our blind playthrough because we thought we were supposed to go that way. Now we can finally do this. Yes, so much faster.
And one unfortunate thing about the game is that there's really no other category that you can do other than any percent. Technically, 100% or all achievements would be a thing, but it would just mean you have to like go slightly out of your way to go do something, slide in every level after unlocking the slide ability, and then playing the entire game twice. Because one of the achievements you get is in fact after playing the whole game twice. And so, in terms of like it being a fun or interesting speedrun, there's not much that can be gained out of 100% or all achievements. So any percent is what we're going to be here.
Ugh.
Oh, did you?
Two sniffs.
This is what we were talking about earlier. We want to like actually deviate away from the path here, or if you do touch the path, just try and walk over it. Because you do have the sniff animation here every time you walk towards the path.
Yeah, and so you slow down to sniff, but if you walk straight across, once you get to the other side, if you get across in time, so you'll see how mine kept triggering the sniffing, but I didn't actually stop and like yell until there. If you get across in time and get out of the like hitbox, then they stop sniffing.
Yeah, exactly. And being able to avoid as much as that as you can throughout the game builds up a lot, because there are times in which you're scripted to sniff or to bark or whatever, but it's only dependent on how long you're spending time on the tracks that you're following. And so if you're able to skip those sections entirely, it does save up because those animations take so long. And in this next section is probably another good time for donations, only because during this small little like area in which you have to go down this narrow pathway, the game, for whatever reason, actually takes away your ability to run. and you have to just walk. But we do get to see the little angry tail from Happy over here. But yeah, we're actually coming up pretty close to the end of the run. After this section, there's going to be one smaller section in which we're going to meet up with some more animals, and that is going to be like the last section where we have to like deal with some AI. Thankfully, the AIs in this game get progressively less annoying as you go on, because there's 3 sections in which you have to deal with AI. The ducks, which are probably the most annoying only because they take so long to move, and the goats, which follow your every move. They're really easy to deal with as long as you do everything right. They'll do everything right. And after the end of this chapter, we're going to walk across these pipes and go into a next loading zone, in which we'll meet up with actually our own family and our brothers and sisters. And we're going to have to deal with some AI from them. And they're similar to the goats in which they'll follow our path and do what we want them to do, but they're much more efficient. They're much more well-coded AI, I would say.
Absolutely. And just more reliable. It does feel sometimes like they made this game in like gameplay order and just got better at coding AI by the end. Like,
oh yeah.
So here I need to help you up, but I can't do that until our friends join us because our friends are going to copy what we do.
Exactly. And as you can see, they're much faster and much more efficient at doing that than the goats were.
Yes.
And they're going to do the exact same thing here. Even though we don't have to do it, we have to follow them because they can't read context clues or learn from their mistakes, and so they have to just follow what we do. And now, after having helped them twice, we're going to meet up with them after opening this door. This is a much smaller section in which they have to follow every move, but it's a much easier section too.
Now we get one of the better cutscenes in the game where we just have a little celebration that we found our brothers and sisters. Hello.
Exactly. And now they're going to follow us, and we're pretty much coming up to the last area because we're going to be meeting up with our families that we've been trying to follow through the entire game.
There's my family.
Right? Exactly. All right, and you can kind of just go on ahead because they're gonna eventually catch up with you.
I love how I like arch my back when I walk on this. It's so funny.
Right.
Cute animation.
Yeah. And have you ever wondered, can a baby deer carry its own body weight and more?
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Apparently.
Apparently so.
But I can't get up myself.
Exactly. You don't have a. I mean, you have 2 wolves, but I think you're gonna crush them.
Yeah, I don't think. The math from earlier suggests I would need 3.
True.
Get up there. He didn't jump on my back. He just jumped in one swoop. Why'd you even need me?
That's right.
The AI just did a single jump up there. It's weird.
My goodness. And now, because dang, skip this cutscene. I forgot. Nothing bad happened there. It's fine. We just skipped the cutscene.
He's still down there.
The fox little guy is okay. And I have absolute jaws of steel as
you're strong.
Up, like a block of metal in order for for my brother over there to get to where he needs to be. And this section is like the final puzzle of the game. Time was going to come up in just 2 or 3 minutes. Because this particular section is similar to what we did with the baby ducks. I'm gonna wait for Happy to get over here just so we can time this well.
Yep.
All right. Oh wait, he starts moving already? I didn't realize that. Okay, but it's perfectly fine because we kind of have to wait for Happy to come over here anyway. Where are you? Where are you, my dude?
So this section kind of gives us a proper it's the end of the game. So we relive everything we've dealt with so far, right? We had to do some puzzles that involved pushing and pulling on objects like earlier. We have to deal with the wind mechanic for a bit. And then we're going to have a section right here where I have to help the fox up, or the wolf.
Yeah.
And so it does a little bit, right at the end here, sort of reintroduces us to all the mechanics that we've played with.
Exactly. And also, of course, helping friends like we were earlier with the goats.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some last minute movements or last minute puzzle solving here by me cutting down this rope to give them some barrels to walk on. And as I'm climbing up there, they're going to be climbing up down there in order to meet me up here with the vents. Because as you can see, my family is up there with this giant wolf. And just one last help up with Happy's character over here. And we can get introduced to our family. There we go. Perfect. And we're going to skip the cutscene, though. And there's one final section in which Happy is going to be walking across here.
Yep. So you got back to your family. I got my brother back, but I don't know how to get back. But then you show up, and Oz has an idea.
I do have an idea.
Oz says, "Wait, come here."
Get in the basket.
So now I'm just a
And
little guy in a basket.
This is totally how a pulley works.
Yes.
In which I'm going to be biting it, and it's going to be moving every time that I do that. Time is going to come up in 3, 2, 1, and time.
Nice.
All right. What was the final time?
43:26.
Oh, that's good.
It's amazing what a PB you can get when you don't have a disconnect.
Right? It's amazing. But yeah, that's Blanc. That's Blanc any percent. And Happy and I are introduced back to our families. You have so many more siblings than I do.
Yeah.
And you also I think you have a mother and a father. And I just have like a father, I think.
Yeah,
Just
but we do get
single parent.
one last chance to kind of see each other before we go, so you can see our families making their ways away. And I'm like, but I'm gonna miss my friend.
We have to part our ways for now. We have families to get to. And they do stop for us to be like, okay, fine, you can say your goodbyes. This is one last time. But as you can see, if you wait for too long, the families will eventually just start leaving.
Yeah, they'll just leave us here to hang out.
It's just like, oh, they'll catch up. It's fine. We totally have never been in this predicament before by leaving them. But
And that's
that is
our end title screen.
Yeah, that's Blanc.
Lovely.
A lovely game, lovely cute game, and very approachable for a lot of people, and just a cute game to be showing off at a mainline event like GDQ, because like it's something that is very wonderful, very amazing, and something that me and Happy have had a lot of fun doing together. And so I would love to show this off with Happy at mainline, because just we've been working hard with this one, and so I'm super excited to see what else we can unlock with it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how much faster it gets once we break some stuff.
Definitely. Anything you want to say, Happy?
No, I'm just looking forward to hearing back about it, and thanks for taking the time to watch us talk for 45 minutes.
Yeah, of course. And I'm hoping we can show this off. Yeah. So yeah, that is our submission for Blanc any percent into SGDQ. Thanks for watching.